How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. Today is going to be day 58 in the Ultimate Guide series, and we are going to continue it because a lot of people were asking for it. So here we go. We got a ton of new information on Cobalt, which has been released, as well as more Dark Crystals, compensation Dark Crystals, coming up for translation errors and all kinds of good stuff, as well as the 1000 Dark Crystals from the iOS that we talked about. So let's go ahead and get right into the details. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Cobalt B. Cobalt B is officially out in the game right now. You can see the Burning Reaction limited banner, so you can go ahead and check that one out. We did pools, and we got a Cobalt B before Pity this time, so that's a step up before Claudia. So this is definitely an interesting flame type character. We had a bit of a translation error on some of its stars, so it looks a little weird. That should be fixed soon, along with Dark Crystals coming in, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we also have the Matrices set, Skillful Intuition. So there are a lot of great things here, and my opinion of Cobalt is as follows. I think this is a fantastic weapon if you can get to A6. If you can't get to A6, it's a little bit lackluster, and I think you're better off just using like King or somebody else. So this is probably a pass for free-to-play players, probably a pass for Dolphin players unless you're specifically going Fire, and then I think for Whales it's definitely a good buy because you'll be able to do the sequential Phantasm Fire bracket with a little bit more ease, especially if you have a powered up character. Then I wanted to talk about the Matrices set for Cobalt. The Matrices set for Cobalt is actually pretty good. It's actually very strong. The 2-piece will give you a 20% damage increase whenever the target's debuffed, which is pretty much all the time, especially if you have the 4-piece set bonus, which is going to restore dodge attempts periodically and inflict a burn whenever you deal dodge damage to somebody. So that is going to work with Frigg, so you can hit 3 times on that burn, 42% times 3 every single hit. It also works with Shiro with the split chakram that is going to apply burn for every individual instance of the dodge hit. So this is a very, very strong Matrices to get. I think eventually down the line it might be outshined by other major Matrices like Tianlan's, Sakifuwa's, Lin's, but for now this is one of the best damage increases that you can get in the game for sure, and it may even have use into the future given its buffed damage percent numbers. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for and consider when you're pulling for Cobalt's Matrices. So with Cobalt out of the way, I did want to talk about that translation error, and we're going to head over to the news section for that one. So as you can see here, the English and a couple other languages had just like a bad translation error for the first star of Cobalt, for the 1 star. So we're going to get 500 Dark Crystals for that error in translation, and that's going to be nice because that's 500 extra Dark Crystals in our pocket to save up for Lin, to save up for Saki, or whoever you're looking at in the future. Maybe it's Ruby, who knows, but that's going to be some nice income coming in. And I do want to say that the iOS price adjustment thing, it does work. I logged into my phone today and I just picked up 1,000 free Dark Crystals. I don't even play phone. I just made, all I did was download the game and just logged in and collected some Dark Crystals. So if you want 1,000 free Dark Crystals and you happen to have an iOS device, this is the way to go. Go ahead and collect that free goodies going towards your favorite limited character. So that's super exciting to see. And then after we have that, I did want to issue a checkup for the artificial island because today boss monsters should be spawning in your island from whatever time you killed it, assuming that you killed it every day on time since release. If you staggered it a little bit, well, that's on you. You're going to have to track that one, but you should have more materials. And remember to hit this claim button periodically. I forget this thing all the time. Does anybody else do that? Comment down below. It's a little tedious. I wish you could claim it from outside of entering the island. I feel like that would just be so much better for everyone, right? So with that covered, let's go ahead and talk about that store. Just remember that it's closing at the end of the week, so make sure that you have enough materials to purchase all your stuff before you go crazy on your upgrades. But you should have a lot of goodies coming in between elite monsters and boss monsters, so you might be alright on that department. My strategy is still the same. I'm pushing level 9 for the kitty house and the development center. I'll update you if that changes, but I'll probably get a secondary house started on the upgrades as soon as I get level 9 on the 2 of these. So with those covered, let's go ahead and talk about Phase 3 Vera Orienteering. It is not out yet, but it will be out soon as we only have 5 days remaining on the event. I'm guessing tomorrow, that's my best guess. Hopefully that is true. I would like to get some of these items in here, especially the Space-Time Rift. I really need this to complete my 3-star Space-Time Rift, so I'm really hoping this is sooner rather than later. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. Make sure you're stocked and ready to go, and you should be all set in that department. Then, once we have covered that, let's talk about Frontier Clash. Frontier Clash has a new charge today, so make sure you go in and check that out. Lots of good gear to be had. Hopefully you guys can deal with the hard mode buffs this week. It is physical resist, so rest in peace Shiro and Claudia mains. Also Volt Weapon charge rate reduction, which does make it a lot harder for the Crow users and Samir users, so it can be a bit of a difficult week, but you should be able to power through with some good weapons, characters, and strategies. And then I have another announcement. I wanted to state that the Wormhole is resetting in 2 days, but the most important thing is you need to full clear Cetus. It's got 3 levels of it: normal, hard, and challenge. And then on top of that, you can still do an endless clear on Ursa Major, but you can't clear Cetus because you've cleared it for the first time. So that's just how the Wormhole works. Once the reset is done, you'll be able to clear Cetus on endless mode, but you need to go ahead and clear the endless mode for Ursa Major so that you can get your extra bonus dust, and then we'll be getting more on the cycles reward, which is definitely nice to see because that means more rolls at legendary SSR gear. Speaking of legendary SSR gear, I did want to talk about joint operations. You should be focusing a majority of your vitality on this right now because this is the best drop rates that we're going to have for a while, so you're going to be able to power up your gear and make your character stronger. I don't think we're getting level 75 anytime soon. It's going to be a long time, so you should have plenty of time to stock up weapon material, so this is definitely the way to go right now. Once you have that covered, I would also want to say that the screenshot contest has been concluded, and I am picking winners right now. It's taking me a little bit of time because there's so many good screenshots. So I'll have that announced in my Discord, and then of course we'll feature those screenshots in the video coming up once we decide who the winners are. In addition to that, we also have a Twitch live stream tonight at 5:30 p.m. EST. We are giving away Tower of Fantasy in-game codes. Yesterday's Twitch stream was crazy. We had like 600-700 viewers. Everybody was watching some Cobalt stuff. We're gonna do some more crazy stuff tonight, so be sure to be there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you found this information useful or entertaining, and we will see you in the next video.